Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In this short lesson, we're going to talk about using partial phone number progressions, using parts of that progression of 1-4-7-3-6-2-5-1, using bits and pieces of it that can be repeated over and over. We talked in the previous lesson about how popular this movement is. Now it says here it's just the strong movement of the bass line down. Okay, this is a typo. Down a fifth or up a fourth. Okay, that's what it should say. Down a fifth or up a fourth. It's used in many other smaller progressions. They take little sections of it, like just the 2-5-1, or other little bits to make it that repeat over and over to make it work. So the important progressions to memorize are, well, the first one is a 2 chord to a 5 chord to a 1 chord. I'll take C major as an example. So in C major, a 2 chord it will be D minor. A 5 chord will be G, and a 1 chord C. Now if I rearrange those into some good inversions. Okay, 2-5-1, 2, 5, 5-7 to 1. Okay, so very popular pattern. In a minor key, I'll take A minor again because it has an empty key signature. Diminished 2 to 5 to 1. A diminished 2 would be B minor diminished to 5, G sharp because that's that raised 7th to A minor. Make it 5-7. Okay, it's a very popular one. Moving on to the next example here, 1-6-2-5-1. You'll notice that this one's just an extension of the 2-5-1. We go from 1 to 6 to 2 to 5 to 1. To hear this one in the major key, C to A minor, to D minor, to G, and C. Okay, again, very popular. Those of you that know a lot of music, popular harmonic structures, you'll know that it's very common to go 1 to 6 to 4 to 5 to 1, 1-6-4-5, 1-6-4-5. It's a very common progression. Notice what's happening here, and the reason you see the keyboard is so you can see what's happening here. Okay, so a 1 chord. A 6 chord, I'll do these all in block, regular snowman patterns, so it's easy to understand. So a 1 chord, a 6, a 4 to 5. Now the difference between that and what you see here, 1-6-2-5, is there's a 4 chord instead of a 2. But if you think about it, guys, what's the relationship between a 2 and a 4? Here's a 4 chord. Here's a 2 chord, right? D, F, A, F, A, F, A, C. If you play them at the same time, what do you get? You get a 2-7 chord. So you remember from previous lessons that a 4 chord and a 2 chord, since they share so much common notes, so many common notes, they are kind of interchangeable. So 1-6-4-5 and 1-6-2-5 can be used kind of interchangeably. So 1-6-4-5 and here's 1-6-2-5. Okay, or 1-6-2-7-5. All right, they're there's a lot of overlap here. Okay, it's widely used in jazz and popular music. And what the note here says, it's often used as a turnaround at the end of a piece to bring about a repeat. The 5 chord, as you know, really helps to establish the the tonality of the one chord as a one chord. So it often happens. This progression often happens at the end of a section. We play that 5 chord to get back to 1 and start a new verse or start a chorus or start something else. Okay, and now the last progression here, a 1-4-3-6. A 1 chord to a 4 chord to a 3 to a 6. And I'll do this again in C major because your ears are in C. 1-4-3-6 will sound like this. A major chord, 1 to 4 to 3 to A minor, which is a 6 chord. All right, a strong progression thanks to the semitone bass movement, as it says here, the semitone bass movement from 4 to 3. Okay, right here, from the 4 chord to the 3 chord, the left hand will move from an F down to an E. All right, and this really is just the first part of the 1-4-7-3-6-2-5-1 with the 7 chord omitted. We've talked before about how that 7 chord is, since it's a diminished triad, it's used a lot less often in popular music and jazz. It's not necessarily jazz music, but it's used a lot less often, certainly in pop and rock music, because it's such a diverse kind of chord. So often the 7 chord is omitted, but for 1-4-3-6. All right, that movement from F to E in the bass line really helps to establish that movement to the 6 chord as a very solid movement. Okay. All right. So carrying on, your 2 little exercises here. Write the Roman numerals for the chords and place a bracket around the familiar progressions above. You can find these excerpts from famous jazz tunes. Jerome Kern, Long Ago and Far Away, and Harold Arlen's famous "It's Only a Paper Moon." So what you see here is the melody as well as the chord progression. Okay, this chord progression in the key of F is the 1, 6, 2. You can do your analysis. Okay, that's exactly what they're asking you to do. So I'm not going to give it away for you, but put the Roman numerals underneath each of these chords, right? And then you can find out where those patterns, where these common patterns are: 2-5-1, 6-2-5-1, 1-4-3-6, where they are in here. All right. Same thing for Paper Moon. It's only a paper moon hanging under a muslin tree. It's a wonderful song. There are lots and lots of arrangements of this tune, and you can see here when you do this exercise of putting the Roman numerals underneath each chord progression, you'll see where that 2-5-1, 1-4-3-6, where those patterns exist. Okay. All right. So I'll leave that to you. Let's carry on to the next page so we can finish up this lesson. Okay, on this page, essentially, what they want you to do is use these partial melodies, 2-5-1, 1-4-3-6, where appropriate. Okay, so they want you to use these 3 specific patterns, harmonic patterns, and figure out which one would work the best in each of these 3 situations. So with this first exercise, we're in B flat major. We're starting and ending on B flat. So this exercise is in B flat major. A 1 chord is B flat, a 5 chord is F. You can sort all that out. Put yourselves in the world of B flat major. Okay, and you can figure out which of these 3 progressions you think would work the best given this melody. All right, I'm going to play it for you right now real quick, just so you have an idea of how it sounds. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and that should have been staccato at the end. Whatever. I'm kind of swinging it, I just realized, but that's okay. Here it is again. 2, 3, 4. All right. Moving on. The next one is in E flat major. Well, is it an E flat or is it in C minor? We're starting on an E flat. We're ending on a C. I don't see any raised sevenths. I don't see any B naturals like at the end here. So I don't know. Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to it and see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3. know. What do you think? Is this in E flat major, or it's in C, or is it in C minor? I don't know. I'll hear it again. I don't know. You can argue either way. You decide how you want to do it. I would probably suggest E flat major, but it's up to you. Okay. The next one is in, what are we looking at? We see an empty key signature, and we see some G sharps, which would lead us to believe that we're in A minor. And you can see that we're ending on an A. We're moving melodically up to the A. So this probably sounds more minor than it does major. There's a lot of A's in this exercise, right? As you can see from the beginning. Have a listen. Here we go. Let me do it a little bit slower. Yeah, I'd say A minor for sure. All right. So again, use those progressions. You decide which one you think will work the best. Your decision should be based, of course, on the melodies that are sitting there in front of you and what scale degrees are happening. All right. Especially if you can find stuff that looks like an arpeggio through a chord. Right. I'm looking at bar 3 of this middle example here, and I see that I'm using G, B, D, I'm using G, B flat, D, right? Now, those look like they make an arpeggiated triad. So what triad do I think would work best there? Well, you use your judgment, use your knowledge of these partial phone number progressions, and off you go. Okay, if you have any questions, of course, let me know, and I'm happy to help. Otherwise, you're off to the races. Take care, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.